Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome to this video. All right, so I'm putting out this video out there for you guys. If you guys run into this situation, it's some of a stressful situation, and a lot of people actually need to get their car towed if they run into this situation, which is a no crack, no start. You guys have power. A couple of days ago, I ran into this situation. This situation is specifically for GM vehicles. They make a ton of vehicles, but GM, Chevy, GMC, Cadillacs, you guys run into this situation. So a couple days ago, I was driving my car. I had no issues whatsoever, had no problems. Matter of fact, I haven't had any issues in a long while, surprisingly. Except for a battery issue that I had maybe like 6 months ago. I had it changed up, and I think that was like when the weather was like ridiculous. That was like still during the winter, but I think it was still during the winter. Anyway, I parked my car, went into Starbucks, got a frappuccino, I think. It's kind of expensive, but anyway, I parked it. Went in, sat for maybe like 10 minutes, looked at my phone. The whole entire time cost me, I spent like maybe like 10-15 minutes. So got back into my car. I was like ready to head back home, and had this situation come up where I had a no crank, no start issue. And obviously, it was a worrisome situation, but I've come across these situations before, and I know what to troubleshoot, etc., etc. I was getting power. Everything worked. The chimes worked. All the lights on the dash worked. Everything seemed to turn on the way it was supposed to. I didn't think it was the battery because I had that replaced, and And I was trying to figure out what the situation was. But when I ran to this situation, I was literally just constantly key in ignition, turn it to crank, and there was no crank. All right, I did that 3 to 4 times, and obviously, I was a bit annoyed by it. I was thinking maybe it was the key fob battery. I never actually did change out the key fob battery. You always want to do that if you guys run into this situation, because key fob battery issues, whether key fob battery is too weak to send out a signal to the car, will cause situations like this. There was a CVS about a block away. Got a key fob battery, because I've had situations that come up quite a bit. Put the key in, try to start it, it wouldn't. It still had a no crack, no start situation. Like I said, I didn't think it was the battery. I did put the hood up and looked at the battery just to make sure that there's just see if there's any kind of corrosion, any kind of issues with the battery area. Sometimes you never know, batteries do go bad. Even if you did change it up like 6 months ago, I've had seen so many stories about batteries going bad on you. But turn on the headlights were good, etc., etc. Now I was thinking there was no check engine light. There was no check engine light. I haven't had a check engine light for over a year. Not that this was like the most reliable vehicle, but okay, so it wasn't the battery. I knew it wasn't the battery. Then everything looked good. Okay, so I got back in. I was thinking to myself, it could be a couple of things. It could be fuses, starter, issues with the ignition system, all that stuff. And I actually did look online just to see if there was any kind of issues, particularly with this particular vehicle, and if there was a trick. There is a trick to it. All right, I'm just gonna get to that. Hoping you guys aren't thinking that I'm just rambling on and on. There's a trick to it, okay? Now, I was up for for doing different, looking at different things, trying to see if I could actually get it to start. I had a the 12 volt was plugged in. I had two phones plugged in. I unplugged the 12 volt just to make sure that wasn't the cause of it, because I know that the 12 volt, especially these days with all the electronics connected, there's a good chance that the 12 volt can actually cause issues. I've had the situation with my my Tahoe where the alarm system had issues because the I believe my phone was hooked up to the 12 volt. I know the 12 volt's on all the time, but for whatever reason, when my phone is on, where I'm watching videos, normally what I do is I stop the video, I turn it off before I get out and use the alarm to lock the doors and everything. But this is not the situation, because I took out the 12 volt, tried to start it, had that situation come up where it's the same problem. So I was thinking to myself, you know what, maybe I can take the terminal off the battery for maybe a couple minutes, a minute, 30 seconds to 60 seconds, and then pop it back on and see if I could actually start it. And that's what I did. And guess what, I gotta tell you, sometimes that works. So if you guys are in this situation, you guys should definitely try that. But it didn't work for this situation. I mean, if it worked for you, definitely leave a comment in the comment section. Let me know whether you how that worked out for you guys, or whether it works out for you guys. But it didn't work in this. It didn't work in this case. But I'm going to tell you what did work. I did actually check out, went online, and somebody did say, if you guys are stuck in this situation, you guys have power, everything seems to work the way it's supposed to. What you guys want to do is you want to take your key, all right, put it in ignition, turn it to the on position, try to start it, try to crank it like you normally do, turn it back off, take the key all the way out, all right, and then you're going to put the key back in, do the same thing where you try to start it, try to crank it, turn it off, take it out, and do it a third time, put it in, turn it, crank it, try to crank it. If it does crank on you, it works. But I believe 4 to 5 times. I mean, it should work. I read somewhere that it should work on the 4th try, but you need to do it 4 to 5 times where you take the key all the way out, put it back in, try to crank it, turn it to off position, take it out, put it back in. You do it like 4 times, and I didn't think it was gonna work. I did it. It worked. It worked. I don't know what the issue was, to be honest with you. I haven't had that issue come up since. I know it was like it hasn't been a long time since I've had that issue, but that was the one time I had that issue, and it hasn't come up since. So I don't know what the reasoning behind that is, but the trick works. If you guys are in this situation, fully take the key out, put your key in, try to crank it, turn it to off position, take it out, do that 4 times, 4 or 5 times, and hopefully that works for you. But hope this situation has helped you guys out with your issues. If you guys have your own personal tricks with this, definitely leave a comment in the comment section. Let us know whether what's worked for you, what hasn't. Please, if you guys have a question, leave a question in the comment section. Please subscribe, please give me a thumbs up, all that good stuff. Appreciate your time. All right, guys, take care.